Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we're chatting about the new signings that have been confirmed by our lovely team, Kaizer Chiefs. And also we discuss, I want to touch on the player that you guys know that we were debating about a lot. And I'll give my views. And I also want to give basically a shout out to all the people who challenged me on the guy's position. And that guys, you know, is Pelele Ndlovu. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. So let's get into it. Buffet Chiefs announced 3 players. They announced Flavio Silva, who is the striker that I mentioned that comes from Indonesia. He has scored about 39 goals in Indonesia. I think in his whole career, he has about 56 goals. I think you guys know that one. So welcome to Flavio. All the best, Flavio. I did mention, I think you guys know from the video I posted about Flavio that I was not really happy with the goals and the league that he came from and the places where he scored those goals. But I want to say one thing. I am always in the business of giving someone a chance. And I'm going to give Flavio a chance. And I want him to prove many doubters wrong. And 39 goals is not something I'm going to take lightly as well. He has scored those 39 goals. I think there are players who have even gone to Indonesia and have failed to score 10 goals in that league. So for that, I say all the best, Flavio, and we need you to score plus 10 goals. Plus 10 goals. It's been rumored to say he's only signing a 1-year option with Chiefs with the option to extend for additional 2 years. So I think Chiefs, if that is really the contract that Chiefs has discussed with Flavio, I want to clap for Kaizer Ndlovu Jr. and Jessica, because that is a smart deal. Because you don't know, because he comes from the Indonesia League, etc., you don't know if he can live up to the striker that we want. And you don't want to find yourself being stuck with a player on a 3-year contract. So I love how Chiefs is structuring these deals. That deal of saying a 1 year plus a 2-year option is good for the team. Because if you are not delivering on what you basically coming to the team can then struggle to release you, which is why I feel like this is the deal they should have done with Morris. They should have done a similar deal with Morris. They should have done a similar deal with all of Abobong and Sam. Chiefs has basically been struggling with Abobong and Sam, getting them off their books. Has been struggling with Abo. Like right now, if Chiefs had the option, they would let go of Morris because he hasn't delivered. They would let go of Untwari. But these guys signed proper 3-year deals. So they are tied to those 3 years. There's no option, whatever. Or even if there's an option, it comes after the 3 to 2 years. So well done on Chiefs management for negotiating this way at Flavio. I hope they structure deals like this again for Kaizer Chiefs. Going forward, for all players that come forward to Kaizer Chiefs, I hope they structure these kind of deals, especially with players they are not sure about. Because some other players, for example, if they sign Supersport Ndlovu, if they sign Makhalwa, if they sign Saleng, those ones are easy people to say you're signing them on 2 years or plus a 1-year option or 3 years, because those guys already have a product. We know what they can give to the league. But Flavio, who you know nothing about, is difficult. So well done to Chiefs management. Also welcome to Shinga, our left back. I don't know why they haven't announced Marco and Monyani. Today it seems that Chiefs is only going to announce 3 players, which is Shinga is part of them. But Shinga is there, and welcome Shinga, left back. We don't know much about him. I don't know what his contract details look like. But because he's South African, I think he would have signed more than 1-year deal. Maybe he signed a 2-year deal. Maybe. I don't know how his deal looks. And then the next one is Cheslett. Cheslett, our number 10. His jersey number hasn't been announced. And if I haven't mentioned the jersey numbers, Shinga is 74. He's going to wear jersey number 74. Flavio is going to wear jersey number 77. And Cheslett hasn't been announced. Well, when I made this video, because I made this video around 3:45, it hasn't been announced that what jersey number he's going to be wearing. Because, I don't know, there's a someone is pushing for the number 10 chase, but our number 10 is sorted. Our number 10 is Sereno. So now I don't know what's happening with Sereno, but from what I know, my number 10 is Sereno. But anyway, Buffet, to those are the signings. All the best to these players. Cheslett, I feel like is going to score a lot of goals in the PSL. And the reason why I say Cheslett is going to score a lot of goals in the PSL is because he has technique. Technique. In the PSL, the biggest problem why players in the PSL cannot score a lot of goals is because they have bad shooting techniques. And I hope Cheslett being in our team, he can do some training sessions with players like Mdushabalala, Duba, all these young players, just to teach them some shooting techniques, because Cheslett definitely has a shooting technique. He's a free kick specialist. I feel like players like Mdushabalala can benefit by being in training sessions with someone who actually has a good shooting technique. So all the best to Cheslett. He's a South African, lucky for us, so we don't have to worry there. So I am happy with Chiefs' approach of signing South Africans. That's the one thing I'm happy about. We just were rumored to a lot of players, and we just have not signed a lot of the players we were rumored to. So maybe that's one of my worries. Guti, the rumors that we were getting, like from last week and all these other weeks, it sounded like we're gonna get more of these free agents that then it's actually coming across, because, for example, Igodaro apparently is still contracted to Sundowns. I don't know how. I don't know how that contract is working. There's players like Yaya Sitole apparently is back in Portugal. The Chiefs deal didn't really happen. There's Mabuza. Mabuza is apparently also back in Portugal, and he signed his deal with his club. So he's back there. So Mayambela is already in preseason. It said that Chiefs is also chatting to Luther Singh. So there's a lot of things that are spoken about, but there's no real deals. And also it was mentioned that Chiefs bought Shinga for about 4 million. So you can already tell, if Chiefs bought Shinga from Portugal for 4 million, imagine what they'll have to pay for Mayambela and what they'll have to pay for Luther Singh. Because Mayambela is one of the important players in his team, and Luther Singh has like over 10 assists. Like goal contribution for Luther Singh, I think, is sitting somewhere by 15 goals for his team. So he's not a player they're gonna let go, even though they did technically get him as a free agent. But let me talk about Supersport Ndlovu. Supersport Ndlovu, I have been debating a lot of people on Supersport Ndlovu. And a lot of people have been debating me back with a good reason, and I understand their reason. So the argument that has been used with Supersport Ndlovu, I want to make this very clear. The only reason why I put Maghalwa up against Supersport Ndlovu is for this reason only. I did not say they play the same position. I just said they are attacking players, number one. That was what I was saying, they are attacking players. The one attacks is a left forward, the one attacks more from the midfield. That was my stance when I made the video. And my stance was, I stated this for one specific reason. I said, if you have to choose between buying Supersport Ndlovu and buying Maghalwa, who would you prioritize? Because we know Chiefs doesn't pay money, so when they do pay money, chances are they're not going to buy both of the players, so maybe they can make a deal to sign at least one of the players. And if Chiefs is going to sign at least one of the players, who would I prefer them to sign? And I would prefer them to sign Maghalwa, because he has shown Guti he can get the ball into the net. And he plays on the left, which is a good position because we just have Umodi on the left. So imagine if we had Maghalwa competing with Umodi on the left. I think we would be better off as a team. That was just my opinion. Supersport Ndlovu is coming into the team, and he's going to be competing with Abomad from like a position of number 8. And that's where a lot of the arguments were coming in. They were saying I can't even compare their goal contributions because Maghalwa plays more as a left forward / striker because his original position was a striker. And Supersport Ndlovu was playing more as an 8. And this was my argument. As I was arguing, Guti, yes, he played more as an 8, but also have to see how he plays. He was more the 8 that is more in attacking roles, even though he was also and like naturally playing 8. So when I say attacking roles, I'm saying when you have a 6, like Supersport played a 6, which was like someone like Bohan Pool, and they played a double 8, which was someone like Maboe and Supersport Ndlovu. But Supersport Ndlovu was always the most advanced 8, meaning that he always used to shift between, he almost became a second striker. We would always see him play behind Morris. We would always see him play behind Grobler. We would always see him play behind the leading striker, which means that he would fit into the role of a 10 in a lot of the attacking moments, but then he would go back to his position as 8 in defensive moments, whatever the case may be. Just because he played that dual role, he moved between an 8 to a 6. It wasn't like he was a box-to-box 8. He was more an advanced 8. Then you would see Maboe. Maboe would be in the middle more, cooking more, because he is more comfortable on the ball and has an eye for a pass. So Maboe was releasing players in the middle and this was me watching Sipe. And I think at Pirates, we also saw similar things for Sipe. He would always be an advanced 8, not playing a 10 per se, but he would find himself in roles that look like a 10 and in certain points of the game. And that's just because he's more of an attacking 8 than he is, what can I say? Because there are two kinds of 8s. There are the 8s that control the midfield, and then there are the 8s that almost become second strikers kind of 8s, but they still are in the midfield. They make late runs into the box, those kind of 8s. Though that's why I'm saying there are two types of 8s that you generally find. Unless I'm wrong, you guys will correct me. And that's why I said then it's easy to compare numbers, because if you watch Supersport Ndlovu, he always finds himself in goal-scoring positions in his teams, be it from Maritzburg, be it from Orlando Pirates, be it from Supersport. He always found himself in goal-scoring positions, but he either couldn't supply the assist and he couldn't score the goals in many of situations of goal scoring, which is why he found himself not doing as well as he was meant to at Pirates, because he just couldn't add that finishing assist. He couldn't add that finishing goal. He couldn't finish a lot of the products. He couldn't do those things. And not to say he's not a good player, but his goal contribution for an attacking 8 was not great. And that's why I was comparing it that way. So, to the people who wanted to correct me, I'm happy that you're correcting me, but maybe we weren't viewing it the same way. You guys were viewing it strictly as me saying this one plays left, this one plays left wing, and this one plays right wing, which is not what I was saying. I was saying they are attacking players. Yes, one person's attacking looks different to another person's attacking, but still the aim is to, 1, either have assists, or 2, either have goals. And Makgalwa, I did highlight this. Makgalwa's assists, I think Makgalwa has about 15 assists in his career. 11 of his assists come from last season. So you can already tell that this guy, his assists are low just because he hasn't played enough football in the Betway Premiership, because he was always on the bench at Sundowns. So I was saying, imagine if he played more games, he would have more assists. And I'm saying Ndlovu doesn't have enough assists in my opinion. And yeah, but he's still an upgrade for if you want to upgrade Matt. Yes, if you want to upgrade Matt, he's still an upgrade for Matt. Why do I say that? Because him and Matt's playing style is very similar in that they are engine players. They run a lot. They don't really get injured. So I think he's a better comp player than Matt would be, because he doesn't lose the ball like Matt. But one could argue on the defensive side that Matt is technically better than Supersport Ndlovu on the defensive side, because for me, I don't know Supersport Ndlovu for his defensive side. I know he tackles, so I know he can tackle. He can make effort on tackling, but it's not his strong point in the midfield, from my view. And I'm saying this as an opinion. So you guys let me know your opinion. Maybe the Ndlovu that you watch in your ever since from Maritzburg, you saw a more defensive Ndlovu than an attacking Ndlovu, but I didn't view it that way. I saw him more in attacking than in defense. And you guys can let me know about that. Amakhosi.